Little Red Riding Hood, Not Quite. Written by Yvonne Morrison and illustrated by Donovan Bixley. Okay, once upon a time there was a girl called Little Red Riding Hood.
Why was she called that?
Because she was little and she always wore a red riding hood.
So her parents named her after her clothes.
It was a nickname.
Like if you called me small blue polka dot pyjamas.
Yes, just like that.
What's a riding hood?
Sort of like a cape with a hood that you wear when you go riding.
Riding what? A bike?
A horse.
She wore a hood instead of a riding helmet. That's a bit dangerous.
This was the olden days, before health and safety regulations.
Ah, go on.
Okay, one day Little Red Riding Hood's mother gave her a basket of baking and told her to take it to her grandmother's cottage in the woods. So Little Red Riding Hood set off walking through the deep, dark woods.
Walking?
Yes, walking.
Not riding a horse?
No, walking.
Then why was she wearing her riding hood?
It was comfortable. Anyway, Little Red set off through the woods, but it wasn't long before she came upon a wolf.
Just one wolf. Don't wolves usually hunt in packs?
Usually, perhaps. But haven't you ever heard of a lone wolf?
Yeah.
Well, this guy was one of those. And he said to Little Red,
So this wolf can talk.
yes,
And Little Red didn't think that was weird?
no, like I said, this was in the olden days.
In the olden days, when animals could talk like humans.
Never mind that. Anyway, the wolf asked where Little Red was going and she told him she was going to Grandma's. He told her to take a shortcut, but it was really a longer path. Then he dashed down the real shortcut to Grandma's cottage.
Why didn't he just eat the girl right there and then go to Granny's for dessert?
He didn't want to be caught eating her in public. So anyway, off he went and knocked on the cottage door. Who's there? Said Granny, and the wolf replied in a high voice, It's me, Little Red. So Granny said, Come in, dear, the door is unlocked. The wolf nipped into Granny's room and swallowed her down in one bite.
Whole?
Yes, whole.
But how? A whole granny wouldn't fit in a wolf's mouth. If he was a big snake like an anaconda, I could believe it. But wolves have to chew their prey. They have bone-crushing teeth.
Do you want me to change the wolf to an anaconda then?
Too late, you said wolf already.
Okay, well how about if the wolf coats the granny in honey? You know, like a pill. That might make her easier to swallow.
All right.
Then the wolf looked through Granny's drawers and found a pink nightie and a frilly bed cap, put them on and climbed into bed. Soon he heard a knock at the door. Come in, dear, he called out. Little Red entered the bedroom. Why, what big eyes you have, Grandma, said Little Red.
Big eyes? But wolf's eyes aren't any bigger than human eyes. They're a different colour though. Are you sure she didn't say, My, what yellow eyes you have, Grandma?
No, she didn't. And the wolf said, All the better to see you with, my dear. Then Little Red said, What big ears you have, Grandma. And the wolf said, All the better to hear you with, my dear.
Huh, wouldn't the shape of the ears be more obvious than the size? I mean, wouldn't she say, What pointy ears you have, Grandma? And why would Little Red notice the eyes and ears first anyway? Wouldn't she notice that Grandma had fur and a muzzle and a huge set of canine teeth?
I'm getting to the teeth now.
Finally.
And Little Red said, What big teeth you have, Grandma.
Little Red's a bit slow, isn't she?
Maybe. And the wolf said, All the better to eat you with, my dear. And then he sprang out of bed. Little Red screamed as the wolf caught her and gobbled her up. And before you ask, yes, whole, because his throat was already stretched from Grandma.
Okay, well, good night.
Don't you want to hear the end?
I thought that was the end. The wolf ate them both. The end.
No, because a woodcutter heard Little Red scream. And he ran into the cottage and sliced open the wolf's stomach with his axe. Out jumped Little Red and Grandma.
How'd the woodcutter cut open just the wolf's stomach without hurting Granny and Little Red?
He used to be a surgeon.
And how come Granny and Red were alive? They would have been dissolved by the stomach acid.
Well, Little Red had only just been swallowed, and Grandma was protected from the acid by the honey, so everyone was happy.
Everyone except the wolf. It wasn't his fault he had to eat meat. He's a carnivore. Besides, aren't wolves endangered?
Well, they weren't in the olden days. But anyway, the woodcutter surgeon got Grandma's sewing kit and stitched up the wolf, and he was as good as new.
Good.
Then the woodcutter took him to a sanctuary for wolves where he made lots of friends and lived happily ever after. The end, okay?
Okay, well, good night.
Good night, small blue polka dot pyjamas.